Have you ever felt an inner calling, a deep resonance trying to emerge but without finding a way to express it? Robert Moore believed that within each of us resides an inner universe, full of primal energies and keys to our most essential questions. What if I told you that embracing the voice of your deep soul, what Moore calls the self, can be the portal to blossoming into your true masculine potential? In this video, we'll explore Moore's teachings and uncover how you can connect with this deep and sacred dimension of yourself. Robert Moore believed that our deep psyche is like an inner cauldron, a receptacle of warrior energy and the king, filled with instinctive wisdom and precious insights that can illuminate the path to self-understanding and the fullness of being. In this sacred space, our most intimate patterns, fears, longings, and complexes reside, many of which remain veiled from our consciousness. By entering this hidden dimension of our psyche, we can understand the roots of our actions and find the strength of the warrior and the compassion of the lover to heal past wounds. Furthermore, our deep psyche can reveal dormant gifts and potentials of the magician and the king, opening new possibilities for personal and creative flourishing. Moore describes the unconscious psyche in its different aspects, such as the personal and the archetypal. The personal unconscious is woven with the unique experiences of each individual, what he doesn't know or rejects in himself, such as repressed emotions, hidden desires, and submerged complexes. Moore explores this dimension as the shadow of the warrior. The archetypal unconscious, in turn, is a deeper layer, an ancestral reservoir of energies, patterns, and instincts shared by all humanity. Moore believed we inherit certain archetypal patterns and tendencies, which he calls archetypes. These archetypes, such as the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover, are universal energies and themes that permeate the masculine journey and manifest in myths, fairy tales, and sacred narratives. Moore's teachings illuminate the importance of embracing the deep psyche to achieve initiation, the process of becoming your true self, integrating the totality of your masculine being, and revealing the latent potential that resides within each of us. He wove his wisdom into several books, exploring themes such as the masculine, the shadow of the warrior, complexes, and the soul's quest. In this video, we will delve into Moore's wisdom to understand how to listen to your deep psyche and walk towards integration and the fullness of being. 1. Embracing the shadow of the warrior. Robert Moore says, "Working with the shadow is the warrior's path." The concept of shadow explored by Moore is central to his teachings on the unconscious psyche. The shadow is the hidden face of our masculine personality, the one we keep in the shadows of consciousness. It harbors our repressed vulnerabilities, fears, anger, and instincts, aspects that cause us discomfort or shame. The shadow of the warrior is formed throughout our journey as we internalize the patterns and behaviors considered acceptable by society. For example, imagine a man who is reprimanded for expressing his sadness. To avoid being seen as weak and to seek approval, he may repress his vulnerability. This energy doesn't disappear. It retreats to the depths of the warrior's shadow. Later, this repressed vulnerability may manifest as aggressive behavior or uncontrolled emotional outbursts. We all carry a warrior's shadow, and within it reside aspects such as anger, jealousy, attachment, inertia, and selfishness, qualities we deny because they are considered negative. But our shadow doesn't remain silent. It seeks to communicate, crying out for our attention. We need to embrace its voice, and the process of integrating these hidden aspects is the work with the warrior's shadow. To begin this work, the first step is to recognize your shadow. Carefully observe what causes you discomfort or irritation in others. These reactions often reveal parts of yourself that have not yet been integrated. For example, imagine you feel a pang of irritation when a colleague celebrates their achievements. He's so arrogant, you think, but upon reflection, you realize that you also yearn for recognition, but perhaps hesitate to express it. Perhaps you downplay your own successes to appear humble, but deep down, you wish to be seen and valued as a king. This unexpressed longing may be precisely what you project onto your colleague. Recognizing this, you understand that your irritation is less related to his behavior and more connected. There's an aspect of yourself that hasn't been fully embraced yet. To delve deeper, list the characteristics you dislike in others and reflect on how they might relate to you. This exercise helps illuminate hidden parts of yourself. The next step is to accept these aspects without judgment. Observe how they manifest in your life. For example, you can accept your need for recognition without condemning yourself. Acknowledge that desiring to be valued is natural and doesn't make you arrogant. Observe your thoughts and feelings without trying to change them. Notice when you minimize your successes or yearn for recognition. Cultivate self-compassion, remembering that we all carry a shadow of the warrior. After recognizing the aspects of your shadow, investigate their origins and impacts. Understand how they manifest, such as when you feel undervalued at work or frustrated when your efforts aren't recognized. Journaling can be a powerful tool for this exploration. Describe your shadow aspects, the situations in which they emerge, and the associated feelings. Seeking therapy or counseling can offer support and guidance, helping to reveal deeper layers of your unconscious psyche. Integration is the next step. It means embracing these aspects and balancing them with your conscious self. Embrace your complexity, recognizing that you are a web of archetypal energies like the warrior, the king, the magician, and the lover. Notice how the aspects of your shadow influence your behavior and seek to transform patterns that no longer serve you. For example, instead of minimizing your successes or feeling resentment, practice expressing your achievements in a balanced and authentic way, like a self-assured king. Share your accomplishments without boasting or seeking excessive validation. When you achieve something significant, it's natural to share your joy with colleagues directly and humbly. Creative expression through art, writing, or other forms of expression can also aid in integrating these aspects into your consciousness, allowing you to manifest your shadow in a healthy way. By doing so, you embrace the complexity of your being and cultivate a more authentic relationship with yourself. Moore believed that achieving wholeness, a process he called initiation, requires integrating all parts of the psyche, including the shadow of the warrior. This journey leads us to become who we truly are, beyond the masks and roles imposed by society. Through shadow work, you unravel and integrate hidden parts of yourself, moving towards a more fulfilling and authentic life. 2. Knowing your archetypes. Moore wrote, "Archetypes are energies in the soul that represent the course of a man's life." Archetypes, as described by Moore, are universal, energies and themes residing in the collective unconscious. This collective unconscious is a dimension of the human psyche shared by all, filled with ancestral memories, experiences, and symbols. The psyche speaks in whispers, in images that float in the depths of the unconscious, like echoes of an ancestral wisdom. Think of this unconscious as an inner cauldron, a wellspring of primordial masculine energies accessible to all souls, regardless of their earthly journey. Take, for example, the archetypal figure of the warrior, frequently glimpsed in narratives where a soul embarks on a pilgrimage, confronts, unveiling shadows and emerging transformed, closer to his true masculinity. The story of Perseus in Greek mythology resonates with this quest for the self. A young hero tasked with the formidable challenge of confronting Medusa, the creature whose gaze petrifies, the embodiment of maternal negativity. This narrative embodies the archetype of the hero, mirroring our longing to integrate shadow aspects, the inner warrior, and unleash the creative potential of the king. On his journey, Perseus receives divine gifts. Athena offers a shining shield to reflect the petrifying gaze, Hermes grants winged sandals to transcend limitations, and Hades lends a helmet that cloaks him in invisibility, symbolizing the ability to move between worlds, as Robert Moore describes in his teachings on the masculine journey. These divine figures echo the archetype of the sage, symbolizing the guidance and support we seek, the mature energy of the king, as we navigate the murky waters of existence. Recognizing these archetypes in myths, as Robert Moore shows us, helps us unravel the mysteries of our own psyche, as they reflect the experiences and struggles inherent in the human condition, especially the masculine one. Stories like that of Perseus and Medusa capture deep emotions, fears, and longings, the rage of the warrior, the fear of the lover, that resonate across cultures and in every man. Other expressions. According to Robert Moore, archetypes of the hero include King Arthur, in his quest for the Holy Grail, a symbol of masculine wholeness, and Thor, who confronts giants, the shadows of the psyche, to protect humanity with his magical hammer, Mjolnir, representing the transformative power of the self, the active energy of the king. Each hero travels a winding path, full of challenges that lead to individuation, to the maturity of the masculine. Similarly, the sage archetype manifests in figures like Merlin in Arthurian legend and Krishna in Hindu mythology, offering wisdom and discernment, qualities of the mature king, as Robert Moore teaches. Robert Moore identified archetypes that inhabit each of us, universally present in diverse cultures and myths, like interwoven threads in the tapestry of the male soul: king, warrior, magician, and lover. Each resonates with a facet of our masculine personality. Generally, one of these archetypes stands out, shaping our individuality and desires. By recognizing them, through Robert Moore's work, we can illuminate our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, giving meaning to our experiences and connections, especially as men. If you resonate with the hero archetype, for example, you may feel a strong impulse to confront obstacles, whether seeking a new purpose, the quest for the Grail, or defending your values. The strength of the warrior, as Robert Moore explains. In dreams, archetypes emerge as symbols, carrying precious messages from the unconscious. Dreaming of a wise figure may indicate the presence of inner wisdom, a guide, the inner sage, as Robert Moore describes, available in challenging moments, inviting us to look inward, to our own masculinity. Understanding these archetypes, according to Robert Moore, is essential for deepening self-knowledge, especially masculine self-knowledge, and finding our place in the world. By exploring them, we can identify patterns in our lives, heal emotional wounds, the warrior's wounds, the lover's fragility, and flourish in our fullness as men. Analyze your dreams, for in Robert Moore's words, dreams are the language of the male soul. They are not mere random events, but significant messages from the unconscious. Through symbols and images, we can unravel internal conflicts, hidden desires, the lover's desires, the king's ambition, and universal themes that shape our journey as men. Dream analysis, according to Robert Moore, is a powerful tool for masculine self-knowledge. There are various types of dreams, each revealing different aspects of the unconscious. Compensatory dreams, which balance our conscious thoughts and behaviors. Prospective dreams, which offer guidance about the future. Archetypal dreams, which contain universal symbols, accessing the collective unconscious. Shadow dreams, which reveal repressed aspects of masculinity. Recurring dreams, which signal unresolved problems. And nightmares, which point to unconscious fears and conflicts, frequently linked to the warrior or the lover, as Robert Moore describes. Each type of dream offers a valuable glimpse into the depths of our masculine psyche. To access these insights, Robert Moore recommends a process of documentation, interpretation, and amplification. Document your dreams in a journal, recording the details upon waking. Interpret the symbols, considering their personal and universal meanings in light of the masculine archetypes. Amplify the symbols, connecting them to myths, stories, or memories, deepening the understanding of the message from the male soul. The serpent in the Garden of Eden, the Ouroboros swallowing its own tail. These are echoes of the magician's energy, whispers of our cyclical nature, the dance between instinct and wisdom, as Robert Moore reminds us. Recognizing these echoes in dreams through the lens of Moore's masculine psychology is to weave the tapestry of our personal narrative with the threads of the hero's journey, as if life itself whispers its secrets into our sleeping ears. Observing these dream symbols in light of mythology, as Moore inspires us to do, is like gazing into a mirror of the male soul, reflecting the vastness of our being. This amplification also resonates with our personal history, with the unique music of our male soul. A childhood fear of snakes, a recent encounter, a fleeting image on television, everything echoes in the inner sanctuary, coloring the screen of our dreams with the colors of the archetypes, as Robert Moore describes. By exploring these intimate connections, we unravel the layers of the symbol, revealing its profound message to our masculine self. Thus, the dream becomes a portal to self-knowledge, an illuminated path in the dark forest of the masculine unconscious, welcoming, interpreting, and amplifying dreams with this reverence, as Robert Moore teaches us, opens a door to our inner masculine landscape, cultivating the seed of personal growth and the integration of the male soul. 4. Practice active imagination, a dive into the inner masculine universe. Active imagination requires a state of reverie between sleep and wakefulness, Robert Moore tells us. It is in this magical liminal space that active imagination, this bridge to the masculine unconscious, flourishes. It's a dive into inner silence, a welcoming space where images, thoughts, and feelings, the strength of the warrior, the sensitivity of the lover, emerge spontaneously, like flowers blooming in the sun of consciousness. Unlike dreaming, where we are carried by the current of the unconscious, in active imagination, we remain present, guiding the dance without imposing our will, exploring the landscape of our masculine soul, as Robert Moore describes. In this receptive state, we can visualize scenarios, dialogue with inner figures, the king, the warrior, the magician, the lover. Traverse dreamlike landscapes, always seeking to understand the dynamics of masculine archetypes, as Robert Moore encourages us. These images, born from the unconscious, carry precious messages, revealing hidden emotions and unresolved feelings from our masculine journey. By interacting with them, we intertwine conscious and unconscious, weaving the web of healing and masculine self-knowledge. Imagine, as Robert Moore invites us to do, a recurring dream with a shadowy figure, a spectre, perhaps the shadow of the warrior, that haunts you even when awake. With active imagination, you close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow the figure to return, but this time, instead of recoiling, you approach and begin a dialogue. "Why do you visit me?" you ask. "What do you want to show me about my masculinity?" The answer may not be immediate, but attentive listening will reveal clues, nuances, transformations in the figure. Perhaps it represents a rejected part of yourself, a repressed emotion, the warrior's anger, the lover's sadness, that seeks to be integrated into the totality of your masculine being, as Robert Moore explains. Or perhaps you frequently dream of a dark forest. In active imagination, you return to this forest, feeling its atmosphere, exploring its nooks and crannies. You might encounter obstacles like a closed door or symbolic animals, each element a fragment of your masculine psyche, as Robert Moore shows us. The conscious exploration of this dreamlike scenario reveals fears, desires, the strength of the warrior, the quest of the lover, and unresolved issues of masculinity, illuminating the path to integration and healing. To practice active imagination, as Robert Moore advises, find a quiet place, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe deeply. Let your mind wander freely, entering a state of receptivity, ready to explore the depths of your masculine soul. A meditative state, a space between sleep and wakefulness, where the unconscious, the source of deep masculine energy, can express itself. Focus on an image, feeling, or dream, allowing it to unfold naturally like a warrior contemplating the landscape before battle. Interact with the scene, ask questions, explore the environment as if it were real, like a king in his domain. Cultivate curiosity, openness, allowing the unconscious to reveal itself without haste, as Robert Moore inspires us to do, embracing the energy of the magician. Recording the experience in a journal, as Robert Moore suggests, integrating the strength of the lover, helps integrate the unconscious material into conscious life, building a bridge between the inner world, the realm of the inner king, and the outer world, the warrior's battlefield. 5. Observe synchronicity. Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. For those who access the visionary energy of the magician, Robert Moore reminds us, echoing the ancestral wisdom of the king. That unexpected phone call, that premonitory dream. Robert Moore calls these moments synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, resonant with the lover's strength, that resonate with our inner world, the king's castle. According to Robert Moore, these events are like messages from the unconscious, the deep voice of the warrior, subtle clues that guide us on the path of individuation, the hero's journey in search of his inner king. Finding an old friend and recalling an old argument, as Robert Moore exemplifies, seeking the wisdom of the magician, can be an invitation to resolve unresolved feelings, integrating the energy of the warrior. Loneliness can manifest itself through an unexpected encounter with someone who reminds us of the importance of connection, as Robert Moore shows us, honoring the compassion of the lover. The nostalgia of a reunion can connect us with forgotten passions, inspiring us to reclaim them, as Robert Moore encourages us to do with the creativity of the magician. Reuniting with a former mentor, as Robert Moore suggests, accessing the king's strength can remind us of important values, helping us integrate the past with the present, balancing the energies of the warrior and the magician. Robert Moore describes several types of synchronicities. The inner-outer, where a thought, imbued with the magician's energy, manifests in reality, the king's domain. The symbolic, with recurring archetypes echoing the king's ancestral strength. And the event-based, where coincidences create meaningful connections, guided by the magician's intuition. By observing these synchronicities with the attention Robert Moore inspires us to cultivate in the serenity of the lover, we open ourselves to the wisdom of the unconscious, the warrior's power, deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The king's realm, the soul's dance, the hero's journey, with the world revealing itself in precious moments, weaving subtle connections that nourish our being, strengthening the inner king. Robert Moore guides us to recognize these synchronicities, these magical encounters that resonate within our inner journey, the quest for wholeness. Personal synchronicity blossoms when we cross paths with a soul who plays a vital role in our lives, like a magician who emerges with their wisdom just when the warrior's shadow threatens to engulf us. Imagine, for example, encountering a wise mentor at the precise moment you seek direction and purpose, as if the inner king conspired in your favor, guided by the warrior's strength. Temporal synchronicity, in turn, marks crucial moments of transformation. Like a warrior becoming king, visualize an unexpected job offer on your birthday, a gift from fate celebrating the rebirth of your spirit, the ascension of the inner king, or perhaps a radical change coinciding with a profound inner transition, as if the outer life mirrors the soul's movements, the hero's journey. To immerse ourselves in this magical flow, we need to cultivate mindful awareness, an inner gaze, the magician's vision that perceives the whispers of the soul, the king's voice. Robert Moore encourages us to fully inhabit the present, to embrace every thought, feeling, and sensation that permeates our being with the lover's serenity. This present moment awareness makes us receptive to the subtle signs the universe, the king's realm, sends us. A personal journal, a sacred space to record dreams, emotions, and daily events, can become a map of our inner journey, the quest for wholeness. Revisiting these pages, hidden patterns and connections are revealed, like the magician deciphering the secrets of the unconscious. Robert Moore invites us to reflect on the relationships and events that have marked our history, the hero's journey. How do these pieces fit into the puzzle of our existence, the realm of the inner king? Trust your intuition, that inner voice that recognizes truth beyond appearances, the magician's wisdom. Synchronicities often bring with them a profound sense of meaning, a silent certainty that resonates in our hearts, the king's strength. Share your discoveries with kindred spirits, with those who understand the language of the soul, the hero's journey. A friend, a mentor, or a therapist can offer new perspectives, illuminating the dark corners of our consciousness, revealing synchronicities that went unnoticed with the magician's light. By integrating these teachings of Robert Moore into our daily lives, we learn to dance with the universe, the king's realm, to recognize the beauty and mystery of meaningful coincidences that reflect our inner world, the fortress of the inner king. Gratitude for your presence. Until our next encounter on the hero's journey.